The easiest way to figure things out many times is comparisons. So this is his view, and with those ideas that he told you, okay, love, hate, all these things, okay, whatever. We've heard that since we've always been here, and we keep hearing the same things. Uh, Now you compare that to the sun shining, and all life is awareness. So now you have comparisons, and so now you make the choice. And you see, when you focus on the love hate ideas, which is him expressing his experiences, that's what you get. When you focus on the sun and all life is awareness, is there a difference? Yes, there's a difference. You decide the focus. But it does sound good, doesn't it? And he has a lot of experience, yes. And I've known the best seers and whatever that followed Rebazar and whatever, and they didn't see it. But they've got all these ideas that sound really good. Now, you're going to do those things anyhow. That's with the personal self. But what about your real awareness? You see? So again, you decide. And so look at the people that have come and gone. And what takes them away from their focus is ideas that sound good, don't they? All sounds good. You decide. You're the decider. It's not up to me. I'm just sharing you a view. I would say compare it to the sun shining and all life is awareness. And, with the sun shining, where's the love? Where's the hate? I don't see that. I don't see any of that. But you decide. You see? Yeah, you decide how you want your life to be. The original idea that you were saying was this fella told you, the love-hate idea. So again, that's the idea and all that other stuff. We're all dealing with that. We're all on the same planet. Everybody is bothered by everybody, and so everybody has to deal with it every day. All of that. So the idea is we don't have to mention that stuff because everybody's bothered by that. We're all in Wi-Fi. We're all in poison. The planet is destroying itself, etc. So we're all in that. So we really don't have to mention all that all the time. Again, it was the love-hate idea, and I gave you a comparison. So, as we go along, the personal self, just like dust, you can clean your house, your room, you yourself, but then all of a sudden as you walk outside, you collect dust. It's the same, and it's not about what people think of you, good, bad, or right or wrong. Those are just ideas. I get that all the time, every day. I get it too, all the time. Most of the world probably hates me. That's how it is. They don't want me here. Look at the religions of the world. They don't want to hear it. Facebook doesn't want to hear me. They've kicked me off many times. I've had to figure out ways to get back on so that I can share. So again, we all go through it. So we know that. So as we focus on, like the sun shining and all life is awareness, we keep practicing to be indifferent to these things that bother us, okay? And yes, we still have to deal with them. We're not pretending they're gone. But at the same time, we just do whatever. But you asked the question, I simply gave you a comparison. Had nothing to do with all the other stuff you said. You decide. You decide if you want to focus on love and hate. You want to focus on the sun shining. You want to focus on, the real guidance, all life is awareness. Look at all the options you have. You decide your focus. So when things happen to you, you decide your focus. Practice. I have to practice every day too. Every single moment, I have to practice. I'm affected by my self too, and I have to deal with it. I have to practice every single moment. Yeah, it's not that I'm just in bliss. There's no such thing. It's not that. Life is hard. The reality of it is hard. Dealing with creation. And in some way, we're going to constantly be agitated in some way. So we get used to dealing with it Just like a parent that has screaming children all the time, you just deal with it. You know, you were a teacher, you know that. You deal with it. Some days you don't want to walk in the classroom. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just going to be a lot of problems. Well, you face it, you go through it, and it's another day of you know, dealing with all of it. And that's with all of it. But you have comparisons. Use the comparisons, because if you don't, then you got nothing but love and hate. Is that going to carry your life? If it does, fine. Your choice. I'd rather be the sun shining. I don't need love. I don't need hate, all these things, you know, go through that. But I do love things. I love the birds. I love the sky. I love the ocean. I love the people that I support. Yes, I do. But realistically, trying to bring them around to where they have a comparison to where they are awareness, and they don't need restrictions anymore. You see, we've been brought up in a world to where, oh, you know, love is talked about. Love is the great thing. But at the same time, everybody hates everybody. Does that make sense? So you've got a love and world consciousness. Now we have something better, but you got to learn to see it and be it. You want to just be human, or do you want to be this awesome being that you don't need love? You know, look at the sun shining. It doesn't need love. It doesn't need happiness. But people chase love, happiness, money, whatever, pleasures, whatever. And that's fine. That's personal. But now you know that there's something better and more real. Look at the air you breathe that supports you. Do you ever consider that? There's no love there. There's no hate there. I see that as awesome. That's what supports us, not love and hate. You know, those things don't support us. Those are ideas that we carry around and we emotionally react to. That's it. That's as far as it goes. That's it. That's the absolute that people are always chasing, and it goes nowhere except into more unconscious lifetimes. I would say focus on the air you breathe. That supports you. That makes more sense. The sun shining, whatever you got here. But if you want to focus on love and hate ideas, thinking that, oh, that's going to do it for you, or you be more spiritual or whatever, fine, do it. You have options. Yeah. What you heard from this fella, again, everything is fine, and we go over this all the time. It's all choice, isn't it? But now you have comparisons. What makes sense? Does what this person said make more sense than the sun shining? I have to deal with these things too. I hear these things too. And then I compare it with the sun shining. You know what? That makes more sense to me. You decide. Okay, so you see the water coming over things and destroying, etc. Now, this can go two ways, all right? So it can be a giant wave that comes over everything and makes a change, all right? Now, I saw this when I took the rod of power. My personal house was like half destroyed because, and it wasn't a bad thing, it's just that there was something new taking place, okay, to rebuild brand new. And just like recently Jeremy's experience, which I stated, I've had those two to where he saw everything leveled and rebuilding new. So it just depends upon what's really taking place. It can be a flood in the world. It can be a bad thing, but it can also be the new wave, which will help and redo things. You know, what's interesting is in the backyard here where we live, we have a lower section, and we've had two big floods back there that were 3 feet high, very high, like a meter high, and it washed old stuff away. But because of those two floods, everything grew better afterwards. So it just depends. Doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It can be something else. Take a look at it. In other words, be ready, be prepared for good or bad or whatever it is.
No, yo, yo, yo. No, yo, yo, yo. No, yo, yo, yo.
Do you. Do you. Do you.